Hello, and welcome to Seams Right, the place to come when you want to learn how to sew. I'm Deborah Sherman, and I've been a costume designer and seamstress for over 50 years. Oh my God! Okay, it's a long time. Anyway, let's pass on some knowledge. Number one, we're going to start with some simple workroom rules that I follow and always try to remind myself of. Number one, never work when you're tired. I'm having problems being tired and doing this video, but I'm not cutting fabric, so I guess it's okay. Anyway, never feel like you have to work if you're not focused. That's when mistakes will happen. Never rush, definitely take your time. My second rule is no liquids or food in the workroom. If you have both of those things in there, fabric will get damaged, things will spill. Even if you have an open glass of water, water can water spot, let's say silk satin or velveteens. So none of that in there. Don't let anybody walk in with a soda or a snack if they're coming to visit you. Leave that outside the workshop. Number three, good lighting. I have lights everywhere. Overhead lighting, direct lighting, workspace lighting. It's all important, particularly if you're working on something color on color. Like if you're stitching black on black, that's probably the most difficult to generally see. Number four, clean hands. Wash your hands and make sure your clothes are clean and free of animal hair. Cat hair gets everywhere, dog hair gets everywhere. The last place you need it is in the workroom. And you want to make sure if someone brings you, let's say, an alteration or some fabric they bought somewhere, make sure that they know in advance the fabrics need to be clean and free of all pet hair or dust. Number six, no overloading outlets. You don't want a fire, you don't want to blow a fuse. So please use a strip to plug things in. Make sure it's one with a circuit breaker. Number seven, only use good scissors for fabric. I prefer Mundials and Gingers. Make sure they're sharp because unsharpened scissors can lead to accidents or snags in fabric. If you have to cut patterns, have separate scissors for the paper and the patterns. One of the other most important things is make sure your machines are cleaned and oiled. If you haven't used them for a long time, don't even begin running one until you've oiled it and tested it on a piece of scrap fabric. When machines sit, the oil and grease in them tend to drip out. So if you start them up when they're not oiled, they could jam and completely mess up your machine. Another important thing that's really basic is your pins and your needles need to be sharpened. So either they have to be good pins, no bends in them. And if you've ever seen the little tomato pin cushion with the little strawberry hanging off the side, the little strawberry on the side has sand in it. And if you poke your needle in it a bunch of times, it will sharpen your pins and your needles. My last rule for the workshop is no pronged jewelry. When you're working with your hands and you have that brand new engagement ring on the finger with the prongs going around the giant stone, it'll snag. It'll snag on knits, it can snag on silk. If you're gonna wear jewelry, make sure it's low and preferably a pave setting. But please, no prong jewelry. Anyway, those are my most basic rules for the beginner in the workshop. I'll see you next time.